Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello dear students, how are you? Welcome to the online class of Dr. Khastagir Government Girls High School. I am Moshfeka Akter Chowdhury here, and today our class is, as you can see on the screen, English first paper. So now let's start the class. Okay, let's begin with a picture. Look at the screen. Do you know who he is? Yes, we all know him. He is the founder of our nation, father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Then here comes another picture. Dear students, look at the picture carefully. What is happening here? As we can see here in this picture, Bangabandhu is with some other people and they have banners in their hands. Dear girls, does the picture relate to any important event in our national life? If we look attentively, we can see that there is a caption below with a date of the year 1952. So, we can guess that the picture relates to a very important event of our national life, and that is our language movement. So, let's know about Bangabandhu's contributions to our national life. Dear students, today we are gonna read English for Today, Unit 5, Bangabandhu and Bangladesh, and Lesson 1, Bangabandhu and the Language Movement. Now here comes the learning outcomes. After we have studied the lesson, we will be able to read and understand text, infer meaning from the context, listen for information, and we will be able to write paragraphs on our own. So, let's begin with the reading text. And reading text in page number 47, English for Today book. Unit 5, Lesson 1, Bangabandhu and the Language Movement. But before going through the reading passage, we should check the new vocabularies. So, here we have a list of new words on the screen. Our first word is movement. Dear students, do you know what the meaning of movements? Here, movement means an organized effort for a common goal. Our second word is discriminatory. And what's the meaning of discriminatory? Discriminatory means something biased or showing partiality. Okay? And then we have another word, and it is emergence. Dear girls, do you know what's the meaning of emergence? Yes, it means the gradual beginning of an event, the act of emerging. Okay? Then we have another vocabulary, that is identity. And identity means the individual characteristics by which a person or thing is recognized. So, these are the new words that we may encounter in the following passage. Okay, dear students, now let's start the reading. But remember to be careful because we have to do exercises afterwards. So, Lesson 1, Bangabandhu and the Language Movement, page number 47. Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was one of the few student leaders who played a significant role in turning the language movement into a mass movement. As a student leader, he was the central figure in organizing mass gatherings, rallies and strikes for raising awareness against the discriminatory language policy of Pakistan. The language movement started when the Governor General of Pakistan, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, declared Urdu and only Urdu shall be the state language of Pakistan on 19th March 1948 at the Racecourse Maidan while addressing a public gathering. He again uttered the same on 24 March 1948 at the University of Dhaka during his convocation speech. The students instantly protested against this announcement vehemently. It was the time when young Mujib started organizing the student front of Muslim League in East Pakistan. He was proud of his Bengali identity and very active to initiate strikes and protests against the language policy of Pakistan government. Later, the then Prime Minister of Pakistan, Khaja Nazimuddin, echoed the statement of Mr. Jinnah on 26th January 1952. Mujib was in prison during this time due to his political activism and was admitted to the Dhaka Medical College under police custody. However, he stayed in constant touch with other leaders directly engaged in the movement to make Bangla the state language. His directions from prison led the movement to a success. On 14 February, he started a hunger strike there. During a general strike on 21st February 1952, the protesting students tried to defy Section 144 imposed by the government. The police opened fire and killed a number of students including Abdul Salam, Rafiquddin Ahmed, Abul Barkat, Abdul Jabbar and others. In his autobiography, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman says, "We decided in the meeting in my room to observe 21st February as State Language Day and to form a committee that day to conduct the movement to establish Bengali as the state language." Adapted from Center for Research and Information, CRI, August 2020. So, dear students, this is the passage. So, dear students, we have already finished the passage. Now, let's have a quick test on the passage. We will do some multiple choice activities for that. So, we have to choose the correct answer and put a tick mark beside it. And our first statement is, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman played a significant role in our language movement. What does the underlined word mean here? And the options are famous, important, infamous, active. Dear students, which one is the correct answer? Yes, it is important. So, let's move to the next statement. The protesting students tried to defy Section 144 imposed by the government. What does the underlined word mean here? The underlined word defy means to refuse, to agree, to accept or to obey. And which one is the correct answer? Yes, defy means to refuse. Let's move to the next statement. And our next statement is, what is the meaning of the word autobiography in this passage? And the options are the story of a person's life written by somebody else. Option B, the story of a person's life written by his friends. Option C, the story of a person's life written by that person himself. And option D, the story of a person's life written by a journalist. Dear students, think for a moment, which one is the correct statement? Yes, the story of a person's life written by that person himself. Now the next statement. And it is, which of the following words is the meaning of central in the passage? Most important, less important, unimportant, popular. And the correct answer is most important. Then we have another statement, and it is, we decided in the meeting in my room to observe 21st February as State Language Day. What does the underlined word mean? Here underlined word is observe. And the options are to celebrate, to maintain, to understand, to arrange. And the correct one is to celebrate. So we have completed the multiple choice activities. Dear students, now it's time for answering some questions. There are 3 questions on the screen, and these questions are based on the passage that we have just completed. Dear students, you have to write down the answers in your copy. And the questions are, where was Sheikh Mujibur Rahman during the language movement? Question number 2, why do you think Sheikh Mujibur Rahman struggled for establishing Bengali as the state language? And question number 3, what happened on 21st February 1952? As I have said, you have to write down the answers in your copy. Now let's move to the next activity. Okay girls, this is the last activity for today, and it's a matching exercise. There are 2 columns on the screen, and column A has some words, and in column B we have the closest meaning of those words. We have to match the words from column A with the words from column B. So in column A we have the words discriminatory, vehemently, open fire, stay in touch, engaged in, raise awareness. And in column B we have be in a communication, involved in, strongly, begin to shoot, involved, unfair. So dear girls, take your time and think for a moment which one are the better option for the column A from column B. Okay. Discriminatory. Discriminatory means unfair. Then we have the word vehemently, and vehemently means strongly. Then we have a word open fire. What's the meaning of open fire? That is begin to shoot. Okay. Then we have another word stay in touch. Stay in touch means involved. Then we have another phrase engaged in. Engaged in means involved in. Then we have another word raise awareness. It means be in a communication. So dear girls, we are at the last part of our today's class, and it's time for home task. Dear girls, you have to read the passage again, identify the main points in the text that we have discussed, and rewrite in 100 words. Bye bye girls, take care.